Android.
And we've got the opportunity for some fog this morning, as you can see from our camera at 7th and Range Line. We'll talk about that fog and what happens when the fog burns off in just a moment. Plus, Oklahoma authorities arrest 2 in connection with a death investigation.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 6 a.m. I'm Chris Warner. It is Thursday, September the 25th. Happy Thursday, everybody. We're just over the halfway mark on this week, and it's our second day with fog, but it's our first day so far without any rain. Now, I do know that we do need more rain out there. We still have some drought conditions in the area. Unfortunately, over the next few days, we do not have any rain chances. Let's start, though, with a live look from downtown Pittsburgh, 4th and Broadway. Now, again, downtown Pittsburgh has been looking just fine, but there are some reduced visibilities out there around the Pittsburgh area. We also have, take a look at that, our camera at 7th and Range Line. Look at that fog out there. It has been pretty dense all morning long. Our director, Tim, said that when he came up here about, 10:30 last night, that fog was already pretty dense on his way in. And same for me. I was on the way about a little after 3 a.m., doing about 25, 30 miles an hour on the highway because there are points of zero visibility. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line in Joplin. We've actually seen some improvements here. We saw it at one point drop where you couldn't even see the traffic light at 15th Street, but you can now see even the Chili sign out there, so slight improvements. MoDOT cameras around the area, again, some slight improvements. You can kind of make out some of the roadway here, I-44 at Range Line. That's exit 4, Main Street, and exit 11, so that'd be the exit for 249 North or I-49 South, and we still have some pretty dense fog, and we're not done with it yet. We do have dense fog advisories, so now Crawford County has been dropped from that, which does make sense. You've got some reduced visibilities, but it hasn't been as dense as it has been through the advisory zones, all of these running through 10 a.m. We do have some, take a look, Iola's only a 1/10 of a mile. Parsons, you are now down to 4/10 of a mile, so even if you're not under a dense fog advisory, we still have some dense fog into parts of southeastern Kansas. Of course, we have zero visibility in Miami and Grove. Joplin still reporting 2/10 of a mile. So it's a good stretch of I-44 heading down toward Tulsa and even back toward Springfield. It gets a little better, but not significantly so. And pretty much the entire stretch of I-49 until you get to the Arkansas border, reduced visibility. So you need to be prepared, slow down, be prepared to maybe leave early to get where you're going so you're not late, or if where you're going it's not a big deal if you're late, then don't worry about it. But you've really got to slow down, be prepared for rapidly changing visibilities, low beams, not your high beams, fog lights if you've got them. Now, after the fog burns off, Thursday looks great. We're going to have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies throughout the afternoon. We are expected to be dry, and as I mentioned, I know we need the rain. We just don't have any out there for the next few days. Temperatures this morning a little closer to seasonable. Got a lot of upper 50s, and then down a little further south, got some low 60s. Right now, Jay is the warm spot at 64 degrees, and it looks like Parsons is the cool spot at 55 this morning. So, but again, a seasonable start to the day. Kids heading out the door again for some of us, many of us really. Some patchy fog out there, upper 50s, low 70s at lunch and recess, upper 70s when they head home. Go low 60s by 9 o'clock this morning, low 70s by noon, and upper 70s for our highs, so a pretty seasonable day. Temperatures, though, do begin to climb over the next few days. We'll talk about how warm it's going to get heading into the weekend here in just a few more minutes. In this morning's top stories, Kansas Senator Roger Marshall blames Democrats for demanding additional spending as Washington faces a funding crisis. A government shutdown looms with the deadline set for next Wednesday, October the 1st, after the Senate failed to advance the House Republican bill. The measure would have kept agencies funded through November 21st. With both parties searching for compromise, President Trump said on Truth Social Tuesday that meeting with Democratic leaders, quote, would not be productive at this time. Kansas Senator Roger Marshall says Republicans are offering a reasonable compromise in the budget standoff.
We've offered to the Democrats just to continue things at the spending levels they set. So really the levels we're talking about, every Democrat in the Senate voted for last December. But now they're wanting to add $1.5 trillion of spending, borrowing that money from our grandchildren. And the Republicans, myself, were saying, no, let's just keep things at the same spending level until we get things sorted out a little bit further. So a short stopgap measure here for the next couple of months is what we're proposing.
Meanwhile, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries released a joint statement saying, in part, quote, Democrats have been clear that we are willing to sit down and work towards an agreement that protects the health care of the American people and improves their quality of life. Oklahoma authorities arrest 2 people following a death investigation. According to the OSBI, Jacob Bailey and Renee Carpenter have been charged in connection to a death investigation from earlier this week. Monday morning, Veneta police officers responded to a property on South Foreman Street. They found an injured man who was taken to a local hospital where he was later pronounced dead. The investigation determined his injuries were consistent with homicide. Authorities have not released the victim's name. Both Carpenter and Bailey have been booked into the Craig County Jail. And a gunman opened fire on an ICE facility in Dallas yesterday morning in what the acting ICE director says he's convinced was a targeted attack. Marvin Hurst has the latest.
A gunman opened fire on an ICE facility in Dallas Wednesday morning, shooting 3 people and killing at least 1. The federal government confirmed all 3 of those shot were detainees at the facility. According to the Mexican consulate of Dallas, one of those shot was a Mexican national.
Multiple rounds were fired into the building indiscriminately, into the lobby doors, the windows, various walls in the building, but also our Sally Port, which is where we bring in the secure location for detainees. The shooter fired indiscriminately into vehicles. The detainees were in the vehicle at the time.
Officials say the gunman opened fire on the facility from a rooftop across the street. One victim was shot while running from a van trying to get help. The suspect died on the scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. FBI Director Kash Patel posted a photo online of what he says are the gunman's unused shell casings, one with a handwritten message that says anti-ICE. Republican Senator Ted Cruz condemned the current political climate that he says is leading to violence.
This must stop. To every politician who is using rhetoric demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop.
This marks the 3rd shooting in Texas directed at ICE, or U.S. Customs and Border Protection. As for Wednesday's incident, no law enforcement was injured. Marvin Hurst, CBS News, Dallas.
Well, the Dallas field office serves as a temporary holding facility for some detainees. The Dallas facility was the target of a bomb threat last month. That suspect was arrested. The Department of Homeland Security says attacks faced by ICE officials are up by more than 1,000% since this time last year. That's a look at our top stories and weather here on the KOAM Morning News. Still ahead, Super Typhoon Ragasa slams Hong Kong with hurricane-force winds and deadly storm surge. Plus, The Paper trades Scranton for Toledo, and Wicked making a return to theaters. We'll have a look at that. Plus, got some dense fog out there, as we've talked about. We're going to talk about that fog, what happens after the fog when we come back. But first, here's a live look from Cunningham Park in Joplin. Time is 6:08. We're back with more after this. Topping World Watch, in recent days, we've been watching Super Typhoon Ragasa rumble across the western Pacific. The storm has now lost Super Typhoon status, but it's left a lot of destruction in its path. Anna Corin reports from Hong Kong.
After furiously barreling across the South China Sea, Super Typhoon Ragasa slammed into Hong Kong, bringing hurricane-force winds, torrential rain, and a storm surge that's left a trail of destruction. At this luxury hotel, a torrent of seawater crashed through the lobby, sending people and glass flying. While in neighboring Taiwan, heavy rain caused a dam to burst and a bridge to collapse, killing at least 17 people. In southern China, more than 1 million residents have been evacuated from low-lying areas.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
For my family, our house is close to the water.
And you check the house. Okay?
And this violent storm surge was too close for comfort.
As you can see, flooding, water's now trapped, and my boys and I are trying to now get it out.
Thankfully, our sandbags held and the water receded. But this storm's fury is far from over as other cities brace for impact.
Anna Karin, CBS News, Hong Kong.
Super Typhoon Ragasa's impact is still being felt across Southeast Asia, with authorities warning of more dangerous weather in the days ahead. Well, still to come, lessons from one family's successful battle against childhood cancer. Plus, we're starting out with some foggy conditions for some of us this morning. What happens after the fog goes away? We've got the answer when we come back. Time now, 6:13. Good morning, I'm Chris Warner with your KOAM News Update. A severe storm rips the roof off NHS Sequoia Hospital in Sallisaw, Oklahoma Tuesday night. All patients were safely evacuated and transported to other healthcare facilities. Pafford Medical set up a mobile field hospital to provide care for displaced patients and ensure healthcare services continue without interruption. And yesterday morning, a female driver suffered moderate injuries after her SUV rolls over on Baseline Boulevard near Interstate 49 in Jasper County. Wet conditions and light rain contributed to the accident. The crash created a second incident when a Good Samaritan stopped to help. A passing vehicle hit the helper's car before fleeing the scene. And we started off with some fog this morning, and then we'll go mostly clear, partly cloudy heading into the afternoon. Our temperatures today pretty close to normal, into the upper 70s. As we head into the evening hours, again, mostly clear, partly cloudy. We'll go into the upper 50s tonight. More fog expected overnight, so be prepared for more dense fog for our Friday morning commute. We'll be a little warmer tomorrow as well. Average high is 79. We're going to 80. Sunny skies Saturday, low 80s, and that's where our temperatures will hang out. Thankfully not way above average, but still warmer than we should be as we go in the low to mid 80s through next week. Well, Stop the Presses, a newspaper-themed show, is being renewed for season 2 as Hollywood returns to Oz. Gwen Baumgartner has your eye on entertainment.
Move over, Dunder Mifflin. There's a new cringeworthy mockumentary that's drawing in viewers with its ragtag employees.
Have you read this paper?
Uh-huh.
How do you think it compares to any other paper?
It sucks.
Only a few weeks after the paper premiered on Peacock, it was announced the show is being renewed for a second season. The series is considered a spin-off of cult classic The Office, trading in a Scranton paper company for a Toledo newspaper. Actress Ramona Young is cast as a reporter.
I knew everyone working on it was going to be really smart and really talented and really funny. And I was right.
Season 1 episodes are available on Peacock, but will be rerun in primetime in mid-November.
The wand really sells it.
Elphaba and Glinda are back to cast another spell on moviegoers. Wicked is returning to the big screen November 21st with a sequel.
It's the Wicked Witch!
The first movie defied gravity and box office expectations. This new trailer of Wicked for Good hopes to capitalize on that momentum with the return of stars Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo as they take on a changing Oz.
Here's the plan. I have no plan.
Well, I do.
Oh, thank Oz.
Fans can expect more magic and 2 brand new songs when Wicked for Good debuts. Paris Hilton is taking her love for dogs to the masses. The Chihuahua-toting socialite is unveiling a new kid-friendly web series this week called Paris and Pups.
And I'm so excited for you to follow the adventures of Paris Star and her adorable pups.
The episodes will be released weekly on the Paris and Pups YouTube channel. That's your eye on entertainment. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Hey, I'm all for new things for the kids to watch that are good for them to watch, because sometimes they run into that other side of streaming where they shouldn't be. So a new cartoon series, regardless of what it is, always a good thing. And you know what else is a great thing? Using your fog lights and your low beams this morning, as we've got dense fog to contend with for some of us this morning. Downtown Pittsburgh looks all right, but you don't have to go too far to run into reduced visibilities. Details on the fog and our Thursday forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:20 on this Thursday morning. We're discussing SpongeBob. I know I've talked about it before, but SpongeBob, I was going into 6th grade when SpongeBob came out. That's how long that show's been on, because I've been out of high school for our 20-year reunions this year. So SpongeBob's been around for a hot minute. Anyway, no SpongeBob's out there this morning, but we do have some fog. Now, downtown Pittsburgh looks good. We've seen improvements in Joplin, but that doesn't mean we're quite done with dense fog just yet, so you still need to be cautious. That's 7th and Range Line. MoDOT cameras around the area, you can see some of them. I-44 exit 4 has improved a bit. Main Street has actually gotten a little worse. The fog's a little thicker there. And exit 11, so that'd be 249 north or I-49 south to Neosho. And then I-44 at Range Line, you can see the fog has not improved throughout there. Improvements on the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line, though, certainly a good thing, but still pretty darn foggy out there. And we do have dense fog advisories. Parts of Missouri, Cherokee County, and then northeastern Oklahoma, all of these running through 10 a.m., and that's because, well, that's our big weather story today is dense fog. Now, even if you're not under a dense fog advisory, we still have some outside of that zone. Iola, 0 visibility. Parsons, just a half mile, and you can see dense fog just to the west of Parsons as well. Nevada, Stockton, just over a mile and a half. Joplin at 3/10, Miami at a 10th. Grove at 0. So this is impacting a lot of the major highways that we use to get around from point A to point B. So you need to be prepared for slower traffic. You need to be prepared to go slower as well, because I'm telling you, at 0 visibility, it'll sneak up on you pretty quickly. And that's the other part of this. You got to be prepared for the potential for rapidly changing visibilities on your commute. Use your low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them. Again, just be cautious this morning. If it's okay for you to be a little late wherever you're going, great. Go slow, leave at your normal time. If you know you need to get there on time or a little early, you need to leave a little early, because you need to be prepared for very slow moving traffic in some locations. After the fog burns off today, looks fantastic. A mix of mostly clear to partly cloudy skies as we head through the afternoon. Overnight tonight, the fog could return again. So we're going to have to watch out for more dense fog as we head into our Friday morning commute, but otherwise we remain dry, and our Friday looks a lot like today. Saturday looks a lot like today too, but with more sunshine on our Saturday and temperatures continuing to warm across the area. In fact, we'll take the future track into Saturday and I'll show you. You know it's working because the wind arrows move. But yeah, it's looking pretty fantastic. Now, we still need more rain across the area. Unfortunately, though, we just don't have any on the horizon. All right, let's take a look. We got fog again through at least 10 a.m. We'll have near 60 to start our day, about 70 by 11 o'clock this morning. Average high this time of year is now down to about 79, and we're heading pretty close to that. Upper 70s, a very textbook like September day, really. We'll have the mostly clear, partly cloudy skies, upper 70s, and north breeze 5 to 10. A pretty nice day out there. Still the same through the evening. We'll go about mid 60s by 10. Fog overnight again into our Friday morning commute. We're back into the upper 50s once again. However, tomorrow, temperatures begin to climb. Now, we're only a degree above normal tomorrow, about 80. But we get beyond that, and I mean, thankfully, our temperatures don't soar, because it would really stink to have the 90s leading into the beginning of October. But we will be above average as our temperatures climb into the low to mid 80s through the weekend and the majority of next week. And as you can see, at least right now, unfortunately, no rain chances on the horizon. So hopefully we'll get some more rain in before too much longer, because again, we certainly do need some. That's a check of your forecast. Switching gears now to Health Watch this morning. Health experts are concerned about a sharp rise in cases of an antibiotic-resistant bacteria. CDC report found since 2019, infections of NDM-CRE have surged more than 460% in the U.S. The drug-resistant infections can manifest as pneumonia, bloodstream infections, or urinary tract infections, and are extremely hard to treat. In 2020, approximately 1,100 people died due to these infections. And where you live could affect how likely you are to survive cancer. American Cancer Society research found big disparities in the quality of cancer care and insurance coverage in rural America. As a result, Americans in rural communities are less likely to survive cancer than people in urban communities. The study also found black cancer patients have lower survival rates than white patients. And if you notice trouble concentrating or forgetting things, you're not alone. A Yale study found a rising number of adults in the U.S., particularly people under 40, are reporting serious issues with their memory and concentration. Researchers say more study is needed to understand if this reflects actual changes in brain health or just better awareness and willingness to report cognitive problems. And September is Childhood Cancer Month. It's estimated currently about 500,000 cancer survivors were first diagnosed under the age of 20, according to the National Cancer Institute. 85% of children diagnosed with cancer now survive 5 years or more, highlighting the importance of following these patients as they can develop health problems later in life related to their treatment. Jessica Moore has one family story.
Beep, beep. Hannah Barbu is a happy, healthy 7-year-old who loves to dance. Yes. And do puzzles. She's also a cancer survivor. At just 10 weeks old, she was diagnosed with a rare cancer that starts in the nerve cells called neuroblastoma.
You're living your worst nightmare.
Hannah endured 4 rounds of chemotherapy over 3 months.
You go from having this brand new baby at home to now living in a hospital. She had a really bad reaction to one of the chemos and went into full-blown anaphylactic shock. I mean, I literally turned purple and stopped breathing in my arms.
The treatment was successful. Hannah is now among hundreds of childhood cancer survivors receiving lifelong follow-up and care through Northwell Health's Survivors Facing Forward program.
We know that many of the critical treatments that we rely on to achieve cure are associated with a wide variety of health problems and psychosocial challenges that may arise months to even decades after treatment.
Dr. Lena Jaffe says late effects can include heart disease, secondary cancers associated with treatment, endocrine, and fertility complications.
Our program is designed to not only screen for and address these long-term challenges, but also provide patients and families with the counseling, guidance, and support that they need.
This just adds like an extra worry for her future.
Laura says the support Hannah has gives them peace of mind.
So many other families don't get the opportunity that I get. To see her grow and see her be the person that she is just the greatest honor. I'm so grateful because it could have been a lot worse.
So they don't take any of these moments for granted. Jessica Moore, CBS News.
Around 9,550 children in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer in 2025, according to the American Cancer Society. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Time now, 6:28. Right now at 6:30, seniors in Pittsburgh can access free health screenings and community resources at a special health fair with more than 15 vendors ready to help out. We'll have that story. Plus, some dense fog continuing across the area. Some areas seeing improvements in visibilities, others not so much. Well, details on that. Plus, big changes are coming to Neosho's water services, but your rates will stay the same.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:31 on this Thursday, September the 25th. Happy Thursday. It is almost October. Hard to believe, but it is. It's right around the corner. In fact, it's next week, and it's feeling a little spooky for some folks out there already this morning with some dense fog. Now, downtown Pittsburgh, I haven't really seen that much in terms of fog. Now, Pittsburgh itself, the reporting station, has recorded some reduced visibilities, but not seeing that significant of a drop as you can see in downtown Pittsburgh. Our camera 7th and range line, also some big improvements in Joplin in visibility. Again, earlier, you almost couldn't see the shopping center there, but as you can see, that has certainly improved. MoDOT camera 20th and range line, again, it's improved, but still got some fog out there this morning. And MoDOT cameras around the metro area, on I-44, you can see where, again, we've got some improvements, but we still have some pretty thick fog, especially on the eastern exit. So Main Street here, we've seen actually a drop in visibility, not significant, but definitely a drop in visibility. Exit 4, is looking a little better. It's looking back to the west, the east, because you can see the sunrise. But this would be Missouri 43 south, or if you're taking Coyote north to Joplin. I-44 at Range Line and at exit 11, which is 249 north, I-49 south to Neosho. You can see visibility still reduced there as well. So that's the other part of the rapidly changing visibilities deal, is it can change very quickly in short order. So you need to be prepared for that. Dense fog advisories continue for the counties in dark gray through 10 o'clock this morning, and rolling right up I-44, we have these reduced visibilities. Just about everybody's got visibilities reduced to some degree. Now, Grove, Miami, Joplin reporting very low visibilities, as well as Iola and Parsons. They are not in the dense fog advisory, but don't let that fool you. You see, we still have dense fog outside of those zones as well, also impacting a number of the major highways out there. So I told you this morning, my drive at 3 a.m. Just from Joplin to where the station is, there were periods where visibility was zero. I was doing 25, 30 miles an hour on the highway because you couldn't see anything ahead of you. So remember, low beams, not your high beams, fog lights if you've got them, slow down, give yourself time to get where you're going. Once the fog burns off, though, our Thursday looks fantastic. Mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, and temperatures pretty seasonable. Temperatures pretty seasonable this morning as well. We've got some upper 50s, do have some low 60s. Jay, the warm spot at 64, and it looks like Parsons still the cool spot, sitting at 55. But again, a fairly seasonable start for us. Kids heading out the door, upper 50s. Patchy fog for some of us, low 70s for lunch and recess, upper 70s as they head home. We'll go low 60s by 9, low 70s by noon, upper 70s for our high. So almost a textbook September day in store for us, with the north breeze at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Well, the fog, of course, will burn off. Our Thursday looks great. How much warmer is it going to get over the next few days? We've got the answer in the full forecast, and of course, that's coming up here in just a few more minutes. Switching to today's top stories, if you're wondering just how much rain Joplin's received lately, I'll take a look at this. Water surged below the low water bridge at Joplin's Grand Falls. The rains from Berry and Newton counties brought Shoal Creek to a crest in the Joplin area yesterday. Experts gauged the water level in the creek was 3 feet higher than it was just the day before. So again, that's why you want to be cautious with these heavy rains. And drivers in parts of Allen County might want to seek alternate routes beginning next month. KDOT plans to begin construction on a bridge replacement west of Moran on Nebraska Road. Construction is scheduled to begin the week of October 13th. The department says it expects the closure to last through spring. And another traffic alert for Joplin drivers. Streets in Joplin, at least some of them, will close to general traffic Saturday evening to clear the way for a Special Olympics truck convoy and show event. The convoy will leave the 4 state trucks at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Convoy will wind through parts of South Joplin in 2 separate groups before ending up at Cunningham and Mercy Parks by 7. There will be no cross traffic along the route for the duration of the convoy. In addition, 26th Street will be closed for most of the afternoon and evening on Saturday between Main Street and Maiden Lane. You can get details of the specific route on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. And millions of dollars will soon flow into Neosho, Missouri for the purchase of the city's water and wastewater systems. Missouri American Water announced yesterday it will buy both for $34.5 million. The agreement received unanimous approval from the Neosho City Council after its submission by the Missouri Public Service Commission. This is footage from the town hall last month in August when the sale was discussed. The Neosho system provides water and wastewater services to more than 5,000 customers. Now, per the agreement, Neosho customers will continue to pay their existing water and wastewater rates. The deal also includes a nearly $35 million investment in system improvements. The acquisition is expected to be completed in the second half of 2026, pending Service Commission approval. And sometimes senior citizens can be an overlooked member of our communities. But as KOAM's Ty Parks shows us, the goal of a Health Resource Expo in Pittsburgh is to help get them the information and resources that they need.
Pittsburgh YMCA is hosting a senior health fair. The health fair is centered on seniors because
seniors can be often forgotten about, and there's so many resources in the community that are at their fingertips that they're not even aware of. So having it and having them come in, see what they can get in their community, in their county, whether it's healthcare, financial help.
Over 15 different vendors are at the health fair, and all the resources are free. The local health department is also there doing blood pressure screenings. Some of the tables are for fitness, home health, and hospice.
It's a normal part of life, and that we are there to help people at the end of life and just be an extra support for them. And hospice doesn't have to be scary. Everybody does die, and we're there to help them have the best quality of life at end of life.
Every aspect of life that can impact the life of a senior can be found at this fair.
I hope that when it comes time that they need the help in the home, or they can no longer be at home and they have to go somewhere, if they're struggling financially, they need help with their insurance, whether it's traditional Medicare Advantage plans, any of those things, they know exactly who to call.
In Pittsburgh, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Now, while organizers say this is the first year of the health fair, they've already attracted enough interest to host the fair again. And if you are looking for Halloween or fall events right here in the 4 states, but you don't know where to turn, searching can take forever, well, we've got you covered. This QR code, if you take time to scan it right now, it will take you to the events page on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. So as I mentioned, just scan it with your phone, and you're going to find information on all kinds of family fun events, including plenty of information on fall festivals and the spooky or not so spooky haunted houses. And of course, if you didn't have a chance to scan it, don't worry. Just go to KOAMnewsnow.com, head over to the events page, and you'll find all of that and so much more. Well, let's look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Honda stops production of the Acura ZDX electric SUV, citing market conditions. Plus, Ford recalling more than 100,000 F-Series trucks for a steering defect. Well, the latest, you're watching the KOAM Morning News. We're going to be right back, but first, here's a live look from Cunningham Park in Joplin. Time now, 6:40. We'll be back. In Consumer Watch this morning, Congress has until October 1st to pass a budget bill to keep the federal government funded. Now the White House is warning federal agencies to prepare for mass firing should the government shut down next week. According to an Office of Management and Budget memo obtained by CBS News, departments are advised to consider sending reduction of force notices for programs, projects, and activities that lose funding and that do not align with the president's priorities. Congressional Democrats have described the memo as intimidation, as the White House has publicly blamed the party for the stalemate over passing a clean funding bill. Honda is pulling the plug on production of the Acura ZDX electric crossover SUV, which was assembled by GM's plant in Tennessee. In a statement, the Japanese car maker cited market conditions for its decision to stop making the vehicle. Move comes as U.S. federal tax credits for EV purchases are set to expire next week. And Ford is recalling more than 100,000 2020 and 2021 F-250, F-350, and F-450 pickup trucks. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the steering column per shaft could separate while the vehicles are in operation, causing a loss of steering and increasing the risk of a crash. NHTSA says Ford is not aware of any accidents related to the issue. Impacted owners will be notified starting next month to take their vehicles to the dealership for a free repair. That's a check of our top consumer stories. We're also keeping an eye on dense fog across the area. We're seeing some improvements in some locations, others not so much, and we do have dense fog advisories in place as well. We're going to break down details on this fog and what happens after the fog. We'll also celebrate birthdays and anniversaries right after this. All right, time now for some Thursday birthdays in the 4 states. And we are going to start in Sarcoxie with Blaine Metler celebrating birthday number 10. Happy birthday. Heading over to Jasper, Macy Fosdick celebrating birthday number 11 today with love from Gigi and Cowpaw. And in St. Paul, Sawyer born on this day 14 years ago as he celebrates number 14. Happy birthday, Sawyer. We head over to Lamar with Wyatt Blackford celebrating the big 18 with happy birthday love coming from Mom, Dad, Grandma, and Grandpa. And Robert Fecky celebrating birthday number 41 says happy birthday to the best daddy, love Willa, Kenzie, and Kristen. And special one here, Tina and Chance Ray. It's a mother and son birthday. Talking about a special celebration there in Galena. It says happy birthday to both of you from Steve and Darlene. And in Weir, Matt and Tammy Dietz celebrating their 21st year of wedded bliss. A very happy anniversary to the Dietzes. Heading over to Frontenac now, Molly Lovell celebrating another year wiser and another anniversary. No, I'm sorry. This is unique as well. Rick and Kathy Thompson in Coffeyville. It is not their anniversary. They both share the same birthday. So very happy birthday to Rick and Kathy in Coffeyville. And last but certainly not least, this is an anniversary. Floyd and Dixie Woods in Pittsburgh celebrating 60 years of wedded bliss. Talk about a special anniversary. A very happy birthday and anniversary to everyone on our list. And those of you interested in celebrating with us, you know what to do. It's so easy. All you have to do is submit your birthdays to that email address, which is birthdays with an S at KOAMnewsnow.com. The deadline there on your screen, and that's to ensure that your birthday, your anniversary airs at the appropriate time. You got to make sure you include the date of your celebration too, so we know when it is. If you don't, then we presume if you email it to us, today, and you don't tell us when it is, then we presume it must be for tomorrow. So make sure you put that in there, and of course include those special messages, because I'm telling you, I love reading absolutely every one of them, and I know Elise loves reading absolutely every one of them. We love passing those messages on. And I have a message to pass on to you. Be prepared to slow down. We've got dense fog across the area this morning. We have seen some improvements in some locations from the dense fog out there. Others not so much. Downtown Pittsburgh, see, look, there is some patchy fog out there, but it's not as thick in downtown Pittsburgh as it has been in other areas this morning. Our camera at 7th and Range Line, still a little fog out there. It's looking a bit better. Earlier this morning, you could barely see the shopping center, so it has definitely improved. MoDOT cameras around the area, some improvements here and there. So here at I-44 Main Street, otherwise known as Exit 6, you can see the fog actually looks a little denser right now. I-44 Exit 11, so this would be for I-49 south to Neosho, or 249 north up to 171. You can see the fog off in the horizon. I-44 and Range Line, Exit 8. And you can see, again, that fog out there is still pretty thick. Exit 4, some improvements as well, but still fog. Exit 4, of course, 43 south to Seneca, if you're heading that way. That's what we're looking at in terms of the fog. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line, again, improvements still. There was a point, again, earlier this morning. This light here is 17th Street. That one's 15th, and you couldn't see the light at 15th Street. That's how dense that fog has been this morning. So we do have dense fog advisories for the counties in this dark gray color. They continue through 10 o'clock this morning, and here's why. Look at this stretch of just dense fog. Parsons down to just over half a mile visibility, and points immediately west of Parsons as well. Iola, Fort Scott, just over a mile. Nevada, Stockton, Carthage, Pittsburgh, at least from the reporting station, just under 2 miles now. Of course, Joplin, Miami, Grove, Anderson. We got reduced visibilities pretty much everywhere at this point. Sedan, not as bad as everyone else, but still reduced. So if you're traveling this morning, again, slow down. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them. Give yourself time to get where you need to go. All right, future track for today. Once the fog burns off, again by about 9, 10 o'clock this morning, we have a textbook September day in store for us. We are looking at mostly clear to partly cloudy skies as we head into the afternoon. We're going to have a north breeze out there, and we're dry. And temperatures are going to be seasonable as well. Now, again, I know we need more rain. I don't control the weather. If I did, we'd get just enough in here to help with the drought situation, but I don't. So all I can tell you is, at least if you've got something you need to get done, maybe there's something you didn't do over the summer that you need to accomplish today, through the next several days, you'll certainly have that opportunity. As we get our day started, again, fog through at least 10 o'clock this morning, near 60 to start, about 70 by 11 o'clock this morning. Got another look at your forecast and the Wake Up Recap in just a moment. And when we transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., where you hang out with us here on KOAM Plus, a popular Joplin Halloween attraction teaming up with Wildcat Glades to bring families a new kind of spooky season fun. That and more at 7 a.m. This is your Wake Up Recap for September 25th. Your top stories to start your day. A Veneta death investigation results in 2 arrests this week after Joplin police responded to an injured man on South Foreman Street. Jacob Bailey and Renee Carpenter were booked into Craig County Jail following Monday's incident. The victim died at the hospital, but investigators discovered his injuries tell a different story. A severe storm rips the roof off of NHS Sequoia Hospital in Sallisaw, Oklahoma Tuesday night. All patients were safely evacuated and transported to other healthcare facilities. Pafford Medical set up a mobile field hospital to provide care for displaced patients and ensure healthcare services continue without interruption. And yesterday morning, a female driver suffered moderate injuries after her SUV rolled over on Baseline Boulevard near I-49 in Jasper County. Wet conditions and light rain contributed to the accident. The crash created a second incident when a Good Samaritan stopped to help. A passing vehicle hit the Good Samaritan's car before fleeing the scene. And that's a check of today's Wake Up Recap. And we are looking at a textbook day for us in terms of seasonable conditions. We're looking mostly clear to partly cloudy skies as we head through the afternoon, as fog will burn off about 9-10 o'clock this morning, and we'll go into the upper 70s across the area. North winds 5 to 10. Partly cloudy skies through the evening, mid 60s by 10. And yeah, that fog is going to return tonight, so be prepared for it late tonight into our Friday morning commute back into the upper 50s with calm winds. Tomorrow a little bit warmer, about 80. Average high is 79. So our temperatures, again, while they're not going to skyrocket over the next few days, they will be much warmer than average as we climb back into the low to mid 80s. So we want to be sure we are ready for that. But if you've got anything you put off during the summer, now's a really good time to get that done. And coming up today at noon, we're making cowboy brisket in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Jill Schleichinger explains why sales are up and if the housing market is turning. Or, of course, you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, we're going to hear from a Walk to End Alzheimer's team captain about the upcoming event that hopes to show those afflicted and their families are not alone. Plus, Emily Frankowski with Connect to Culture joining us to talk arts and culture and entertainment right here in the Joplin area. However, that's going to wrap it up for us for now. Again, with the fog this morning, some areas with zero visibility. Slow down. Give yourself time to get where you're going. Don't rush out there. It is better to be a couple of minutes late than not arrive at all. We will be back here bright and early tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. And of course, we'll see you for the KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your morning.